Hello, parents or caretakers or anybody trying to do a little bit of homeschooling with their children. I'm a primary school teacher and have a lot of experience in first grade and teaching reading. And I had a couple parent requests or tutor requests on how to teach reading to first graders at home right now. First of all, I want to say whatever you're doing is a completely great job if you're even focusing on this at all. During this stressful time in our lives, just being with your children, providing support for them is enough. However, if you are reading with them, the most important thing is to make sure that joy is still surrounding your reading experience with your child. So read with them, find things that they love. Children love hearing books that are repeated over and over with intonation and excitement. That is the best thing you can do. However, I did compile a little video here today to teach you a couple tricks, not all of them. It's not the same approach that every teacher uses. It's not the only approach I use, but for teaching some basic one syllable or phonics or beginner readers how to read. This is also focused on native speakers of English. I know some of my viewers are English language learners, but the age of 6 years old, this works pretty well for everybody, but I would focus this more on somebody focusing their English learning as the main language in the school. So my German friends, hello. This video is probably not the best for you today. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, bear with me here a little bit. I'm going to show you one way I might teach reading to a first grader, starting really simply with just one syllable phonics words or beginner readers. Like I said before, there are many different approaches, but this is just one way that I think might be helpful for parents. So I'm going to start out with sight words, which is probably one of the easiest things to practice at home. If you literally just Google or Pinterest or YouTube sight word list, specifically the Dolch word list, then you can find a list to start with and probably a ton of material along with it. I'll see if I can link some sources that I like in the comments. That might take a moment though. So here are a couple examples of sight words. Sight words are words in English that can't really phonetically be read. They have to be just memorized or learned by heart, as we say it, like by heart words, sometimes I call them. They're words like the, in, a, I, me. These are words that are just one syllable, but there are a ton of them. That's because you can't really read the phonetically, because if you read it phonetically, it would be te. We don't say that. You just need to know when you see this word that this says the, and it will be very often in your books. That's what I tell the children or in your reading. So how you can learn these is with flashcards, with specific books or passages that mark them. There's a ton of games and ideas to do online. You can find them endlessly, and I think this is something easy to do for parents at home and super important. And helps us teachers so we don't have to practice as much in school. So that's something super easy to focus on. The next stuff gets a little bit more complicated. So now we're going to come on to phonics. I'm going to try and break it down for you a little bit. So I'm starting with the letters, so the alphabet literally. There are great songs on YouTube to go along with this. I can try and link that below. I'm not sure how that'll exactly work, but let's see. So for example, in phonics, the first letter of the alphabet is A. So we say to the children, so the letter's name, what's its name, is A, says, and then you don't need to be able to read this. This is the phonetic alphabet, but A does not say A. A says A, like apple. So then I always use a word that they know, that they're familiar with. Often when we're learning the phonetic sounds, we pick words where the letter is at the beginning of the word. So A says A, like apple. We wouldn't show the kids this here. I just wrote that for you so you can see the difference. A says A, like apple. A, apple. Obviously, A is a vowel. You probably remember this from your own schooling time. The vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. Obviously, there are exceptions too. I'm just showing you the basics right now. And then this goes the same for the consonants here. So the next one I have is M. So the letter name is M. His name is M. Its name is M. M says like monkey. Monkey. So the name is M. It says, though, the sound like monkey, monkey. So the consonants are all the letters that aren't the vowels. So M, N, K, you know that. Okay, once they have all of the sounds down, the basic sounds, we're not talking about the exceptions here. English loves to have a lot of exceptions. The children can start reading the CVC word. So what a CVC word is a word that's made up of normally 3 letters, and that's a consonant, a vowel, and then another consonant. For example, here, M is a consonant, A is a vowel, N is a consonant. If you read this word with the name, you would say M-A-N. Then you can read the sounds. A-N. So with the children, what I do is, if you want to, you can ask them to say the names. It's good if they know the difference between names and sounds. And then we go and we sound out each individual letter. A, N. Then we try to start blending it. A, N. Man, man. So as you can see, I marked here, man has 1 syllable. So you just focus on blending the individual letter sounds together to make a whole word. It's very important to hear each sound, then practice blending the sounds together, then blending the whole word. Again, with another CVC word here. So this word has 3 letter names, D-O-G, but it says D-A-G, dog, dog, D-A-G, dog, dog. The word is dog. Again, 1 syllable. So just focus on blending every sound together, and then you get your word. You can also look online for a list of CVC words that children can practice reading on their own. This is something where I would avoid having the pictures with, because you want them actually to be blending the sounds together and forming the words. Okay, now I'm going to go a little bit more complicated to something called diphthongs. It's not that interesting to know the word, but what a diphthong basically is 2 letters together. Normally they make a vowel sound, but sometimes they also are just consonants and make a specific consonant sound. And so it's 2 letters together that make 1 sound. So for example, the name of this diphthong is CH, yeah? CH says ch. Again, the children don't need to know that. You don't need to know that. I just put it there so you can see the difference between that and that. But CH says ch, like cheese. So here, the children will see these letters together, the 2 letters together, but they think of 1 sound, okay? So ch, or CH says ch, like cheese. It gets a little bit complicated with the vowels. For example, there are multiple diphthongs that say the same sound. For example, E says E and E. A also says E. For example, in C or C, 2 different words, same sound, 1 syllable, S, E, C. So here we have the consonant and the diphthong, S, E, C. It's not a CVC word. It's not consonant, vowel, consonant. It's consonant and then a diphthong. These are more complicated to learn for the children, especially because some of them, like OW, don't always make the same sound. You might know the example with snow and cow. So, for example, in cow, here you have 1 consonant, and then the ow comes afterwards. So 2 letters, 1 sound, cow. But for snow, you have o. So the children need to learn the difference that sometimes it's ow, sometimes it's o. Same thing with many of the diphthongs. So diphthongs is also something you can practice at home. You have to just go ahead and look up that material. I'll see if I can find some links on that as well. Okay, we're coming to the last part before we can actually read a sentence here. Something else that can be practiced at home is called the magic E or the bossy E. So what I tell the kids is that this silent E, when you see it at the end of a word, it could be a magic E or a bossy E, and this E is quiet, but it tells the vowel in the middle, so kind of like a CVC word here, to say your name. That's where it's important to know the difference between names and sounds. So A says ah, but bossy E, because he's at the end, magic E, turns that ah into saying its name. I'll show you. If the E wasn't there, we don't have that word. K, kak doesn't work. But because magic E is at the end of the word, it tells the A not to say A, but to say, not to say ah, but to say A. So, cake, cake. You don't say the E at the end. The E just tells the A to say its name. This happens for all vowels, A, E, I, O, and U. Let's do an O word. So if the E wasn't there, again, a word we don't have, ham, doesn't exist, but E tells the O, the vowel, to say its name. Home, home, home. You don't say the E. It just tells the O to say its name. One more, an I word. So, E, if it wasn't there, again, a word we don't have. Bick, not a word. Here, the E comes, tells the I to say its name. Bike, bike. So, important because there are a ton of magic E words, one-syllable words. That's why I have this little mark here. One-syllable words that have the magic E in it. Okay, so let's quickly look at how we could read two sentences with what you learned. So, here, I marked it by color. Sight word, CVC word. That's a phonetic word with a diphthong. Sight word, phonetic word with a diphthong, period. Sight word, CVC word, phonetic word with a diphthong, sight word, and then a magic E word. So the children just have hopefully memorized these songs and they can point out that they already know them. And everything that's not in this pink color, oh, maybe you weren't seeing that. Everything that's not in this pink color is something that they can sound out. So, that should come right away. Mom. The mom. A. Diphthong, one sound. Plays. The mom plays. Sight word in. The mom plays in. Sight word the. The mom plays in the sea. The mom plays in the sea. Again here, phonetic consonant and then the diphthong. Next sentence, sight word, the, CVC word, dog, dog, the dog, diphthong, eats, the dog eats, sight word a, the dog eats a, look here, there's a silent E at the end, this is a magic E word, cake, the dog eats a cake. Now, I told you all of these things with CVC, words, sight words, phonetics, everything. So you kind of know what's going on in your head when your child is reading. This is not something you really need to be telling your child. You can point out that that's a sight word. You know what that is. You don't need to sound it out if they're having a hard time. But I would just let them explore it and kind of give them hints. So if they're here, they say the sight word and they're trying to think to it, I just say, okay, now sound it out, the letter. You don't need to use all the words that I did. So there's 2 sentences that you can read like that. You can look for first reader stuff in the internet. It's just a little tricky. So if you have books at home or something the teacher sent at home, see if you can use any of these strategies to try to help your child read. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching. I know there was a couple mumbled jumbled over my words during that video, but I hope that it helped you learn a couple tricks. Please reach out to me and let me know. If you have any questions, I will provide my teacher email below in case you have any questions to reach out there. I'm sure there are tons of sources out there, so any questions I'm open to. I wish you a wonderful day and have fun reading. Bye-bye.